It's a great day to talk hockey on HabsCast.
Yes, it is. Welcome, everybody. Liam Maguire here with Grant McCagg on another HabsCast. Now, you're going to notice in a few seconds here that I'm going to be wearing a different shirt because Grant and I, mostly Grant, we worked very hard. He has worked very hard to cobble together bits and pieces of the show that's upcoming for you here in just a few moments' time. And what that required was we had to gas the first 4 or 5 minutes of it, right, Grant? It just wasn't listen, folks, I'm in rural Prince Edward Island. I'm in Cavendish, Prince Edward Island, with the legends of hockey, Chris Nyland, Guy Carbonneau among them. And you're going to get a surprise visit in this little HabsCast coming up here. And Grant, we did the best we could. It's been a little bit of flying by the seat of our pants here. Listen, we did have a game to talk about. Obviously, Montreal's first loss of the preseason and by far their worst effort at the hands of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Never loved losing to Toronto in any way, shape, or form, especially when they send their B roster. But what were your thoughts on the game and the shellacking Montreal endured?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when Demidov scored that goal to make it 3-2, I thought, okay, here, they're going to make a game of it. And it just, too much Scott Laughton and Lawrence. They're just too powerful, Liam. Habs couldn't shut down those offensive powerhouses. I don't know. I mean, it's preseason. Let's hope. We saw a few of those games at the start of last season, regular season, right? So hopefully they're getting it out of their system now.
I got a couple of things I want to say. I know this is all experimental, and that's Dach's first game in like 8 months. So we're gonna have to just let that. I know you got some video you could show. Definitely him being lazy on a play, out of position, and then having a discussion with Trevor Lukowski about it on the Montreal bench. But, I'll cut him a lot of slack here in his first game, but he's got to look at that too, hopefully, and regroup here. But there's just something missing on that line. Like Demidov has a winger reminds me more of Lafleur than probably any other winger that I've seen play on the Montreal Canadiens. He's a possession guy. He dishes when he gains control. His shot, I think, will be deceptive and lethal as he continues to develop and get older, stronger, positionally understands what he can do with it in closer or further. But I just feel that whatever line he ends up playing on with any regularity, there's got to be some sort of way to feed him the puck earlier in the process of gaining the offensive zone, because he's your possession metric guy on any line. Lining's a shooter. Dach's got to be, if it's him or whoever it is, it's got to be your power forward, two-way guy, back hard. And, that can still work as long as somebody's back, but they've got to be responsible that way. And Liney's got to get the puck a whole lot sooner. I feel that his effectiveness is being curtailed somewhat, at least what I've seen so far in these brief sample sizes. But, Fowler didn't look too sharp last night. Obviously, Monty had a tough one. He had no chance on at least 3 of them. And, the whole thing is just a written-off game for the most part. All of the guys on the bubble for that 1 or 2 last spots on Montreal, nobody played well. And you could have done some things. The old adage, Grant, get on the score sheet somehow, baby. And, that didn't happen last night for a lot of guys in the bubble. So disappointing and looking for a stronger effort across the board, regardless of who's in the lineup tomorrow night.
Well, Jack, I did get on the score sheet, but unfortunately it was taking a minor penalty after it was 3-2, which wasn't great. It quelled the momentum that they'd gotten. And taking another minor penalty later and being -3 and 30% in the faceoff dot. So I think you're right. I think last night was his ticket to Laval.
No doubt. I should have been more specific. I wanted him to fight. I want him to fight again.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But it wasn't just that. I didn't think he played very well. And I went back and I scouted his first game too, and he wasn't that good away from the puck. He's good.
Yeah.
He's still got to work on his defensive game to play at the NHL level, I think. And that's no admonishment. I mean, he's 1 year rookie pro, right? 1 year
Yeah.
in. So it's going to play center in the NHL, as you're well aware, Liam. It's not easy, and you need experience. And I think it would be rushing him, even though he could bring that element to the team that there's not a lot of guys that will drop the gloves, fair to say. But yeah, it was his opportunity when Demidov, the crowd's booing. Demidov got rocked pretty good there.
Yeah.
Somebody needed to step up, I thought, and that was his, if you've dropped the gloves with Nick Deslauriers, he'll drop the gloves with Cade Weber.
Sure.
It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like he was afraid to drop the gloves.
Yeah,
with
he
him.
didn't play well last night. Neither did anybody. But
True.
You're right. And these are the bubble guys. That's why you're playing them in these games. And
Yes.
and he may even still get another game. Who knows? But in fact, he probably will. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you're right. He did get on the score sheet. He took a couple penalties, and I was looking for one of the 5-minute variety. But that said, it is exhibition, and hopefully a wake-up call. And then for the guys that are going to get another kick at the can, because Veleno looked pretty good actually in game one, and I would expect we'll probably see him tomorrow night for sure. And he's a lot more experienced, and I know it's different positions, but we'll see how the roster carves out here. It's lots of questions still to go, despite most of the lineup being set. But give that Leaf bunch there that showed up last night a lot of credit, man. They had a lot of jump. I thought they were first on a lot of pucks at both ends of the ice, and they were just opportunistic, obviously, in their shots and some of the goals. But and it is what it is. It ends up 7-2 in exhibition game. Thank God, no points on the line. And right now, really just hope nobody's hurt. I mean, with a couple groins and guys leaving the game and stuff like that. I don't know if you have any update or not, but
Well, Gooley has a groin injury. Dobson has a groin injury. Reinbacher out a month with a broken hand.
See, I've been on the road, right? I'm in PEI working here with the Legends, as you know, and I hadn't heard any of that.
That's twice now he's played exhibition games against the Leafs. Blew out his knee and broke his hand. So no more exhibition games for David Reinbacher against the Leafs, please. The rest of his career. He sits that one out. I'm not a real superstitious guy, but sorry, And Gooley, I am starting to get worried about Gooley. Like, here's just I want to show something here. Here, Liam, in the last 4 years, there's 11 instances where he, a couple undisclosed, but lower upper body, abdomen, quadricep. Now it's his groin. Broke his hand in junior. Like, after, Reinbacher seems to get injured all the time. Gooley seems to get injured all the time. Now Gooley with the groin. And then they're saying day to day with the groin. You know full well that can become week to week, even month to month sometimes. Jaden Struble was day to day with the groin in college. 2 years. And needles in his groin and the whole works before that finally healed. So, at this point, just a groin injury. Well, those things can be problematic sometimes too. I never like to see that, especially after seeing what the Canadiens went through with Struble for 2 years, not developing in college.
Yeah. And Dobson, that's could be problematic very quickly here. Two of your starting four, and especially Noah, so much counted on there. So hopefully that's just as much precautionary. Rest them for the rest of whatever's left here in this exhibition season. And hopefully he's okay. I just, boy, losing one of those guys would be, and I know other teams already, Jamie Benn and Barkov, obviously, that's a big one. And with the Chuck already out, so
Yeah.
they're dealing, but they've been in 3 straight finals and won a couple cups. So there's probably not a lot of tears being shed there. But anyway, so that's adding the injury to the insult.
Yeah, for sure. And I just one thing that I noticed last night, Liam, and it's funny you mentioned Demidov being a possession guy, and I've noticed one change to the power play, and one of them even being like, I think, they always do the back pass now to the and let the center. It's usually the center. But last year it was very predictable. I thought back pass to Suzuki. He brought it into the zone, passed it to somebody who's standing around, and invariably they get checked because it was. I thought it was too predictable. Well, last night, if there's one thing that I found encouraging from it is I think that they've added some new wrinkles to the power play, and to this when they do the back pass thing, they're actually getting a little more creative. And I just wanted to show this. I put this together. Here it is. Instead of just one guy carrying it all the way in over the blue line, they're actually Caulfield and Suzuki are both circling back. Matheson brings it up, and here the two, and here even Dach and Demidov doing the same thing. It just opens up so much more space, makes it less predictable, and I think, and then that last one, it resulted in that goal. It was a big part of reason why they scored the goal there. But here you see there's Caulfield and Suzuki backing up, and here they come down. They pass it back and forth to each other, and also they were doing it with Dach and Demidov. And I just think it's just a lot smarter way of doing this, because every team seems to do it now, where you got to drop it back. But you see here, it just opens up a lot more space. It's not as predictable. Last year, Suzuki'd bring it up to the blue line and then pass it to Slav, who was standing still, or Laine, who was standing still, and they'd get checked about 75% of the time. This way, you got two guys, you got more options, and you're going up against 4 players. There's going to be space. If you bring it up, 2 guys kind of give and go, and I just think it's going to be a lot more effective, and you're going to see results from this change down the road, I do believe.
Well, let's hope it is a change and not just something that's just happenstance because of the way the lineup is configured every night with basically six NHLers and 6 guys trying out for that 1 or 2 positions have forced some different lineup looks, even though they've gone with most of our strongest guys. And you're right. I noticed that too. I saw that last year where Lane Hudson held on to the puck instead of throwing it back a few times. He has so many feints and deceptive moves, and he would then gain the zone. It's the first time I've really seen it. I mean, this play is called the torpedo. It came from Sweden. It's been around for about 15 years, and virtually every NHL team does the same thing because it's a copycat league. So, whether Montreal is going to actually try and definitively break away from it, I'd be shocked, actually. I think we'll still see it, Grant, but maybe just not as much. And what I'd personally like to see is that they would give Lane and Demidov when he's on.
Yes.
And I really hope the units are 1 and 1A. I hope they both get power play opportunities. I know in second units, you could call it a second unit, but I hope anyway that at different times anyway, that's just a semantic thing, that a personal preference as I watch as a fan. But I just think that we're still going to see that.
I found it interesting that, after Demidov made that great play I got thinking, maybe they'll stick him up on the top unit after that, right? Because instead of Roy, but I really think that they want that second unit to get continuity, to get reps together, right? It's Demidov, Laine, Dach, Dobson, and I think they even had Matheson on the first unit because they wanted to keep that second unit. Bolduc wasn't there, so they put Roy in his place for the game and give Roy another opportunity to try to get on the score sheet to see if he could win a spot, and he didn't. And he's going down to Laval. It's I'd be shocked at this point. I think it's between Beck and Kapanen. Kapanen, by the way, is going to play with Bolduc and Newhook tomorrow night, which is I think is a good idea. Also with Dach maybe not looking great so far, they're thinking, okay, that spot on the third line has to go to either Kapanen or Beck, who can maybe be insurance policies if Dach's not working out, and perhaps even step into the second line center role, or Newhook gets moved up to the second, and they go into they're on the third line with Dach and can help with faceoffs and all that. Right now, it's looking to me like it's going to be either Beck or Kapanen that wins that 12th spot.
Right. Well, we'll know in a week.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if somebody steps up and grabs it.
Yeah. Well, I did like Kapanen in the first game. I think the fact that the line Demidov Kapanen line wasn't on for a goal against. Compare that to -3 that that they produced last night against a B team. So it's not like, oh well, yeah, it was a lot stronger team. No, it wasn't. It was basically Toronto's minor league team, and they went -3. A key to that line is going to be not being on the ice for a lot of goals against, because that's the big question mark, I think. You know that Laine and Demidov are going to get some points. They're going to score some goals. It's can they keep the puck out of their own net? And Dach, if Dach gets off to the same minus start that he did last year, that he won't. They aren't going to be as patient. I think they wait. I think Dach played the second line no matter what all last year till he got injured. They're not going to be as patient this year with him, I don't think.
I agree. And in fact, what led me to say on a HabsCast 2 or 3 ago there that I can't see it even as a line. And I know I'm basing that on recent past here, but it's just a configuration of it and just knowing how they each play individually, albeit a small sample size with Demidov. What I'm seeing is he's just a possession genius. This guy's so gifted. He's like a winger version of Lane Hudson. He can make things happen. Even look how he looked guys off, even on the pass to Laine on the power play goal. He's looking at the point, fires a bullet across. So, I think you'll see Marty and then the group, the hockey brain trust there will sit down and they'll figure it out. But I agree with you. They've made it very apparent. They want to get more in the mix here as a playoff contender, and you can't afford to be in last place Hey, Grant. Just walked in.
All right.
Oh boy. Hey, sir.
I didn't know what to find him, so
I told Stevie to message you.
Oh, okay. No.
Our
he
internet.
didn't do it.
He didn't message you.
He didn't message.
Okay. I appreciate that. Do you want me to
flip her off, Grant, and I'll talk to Guy here for a sec. Let's see
What's
how
that?
it goes. Yeah, flip me on there.
Okay.
And let's see how it looks here.
Sounds good. I will leave
We've got 10 minutes. We've got 10 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's see. You should see us both here. I told Stevie to.
No, he's over there, but I thought he wanted to do this and.
No, yeah, out there. We have 20 guys out there waiting for you guys to sign autographs. Hey, Montreal Forum with Liam Maguire and Guy Carbonneau.
How are you guys?
Guy, thanks very much, man.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate this. I know our time is short because you and I have a meal to get to, and you have a hockey game to play tonight.
Yeah.
You're still playing.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Not a lot, but I still enjoy the game. But those kind of games.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I like to watch the NHL. I like to watch hockey, but to get involved, I've done my share, and I still enjoy it. I think it's it's fun. Again, I had the chance today to see Darren Hatcher, who I played with in Dallas, and so those games just kind of brings back memories, and the chance to play with some guys that you play with and against. Most of the guys that I play with, I enjoy being with them. A lot of the guys that I play against, I hated them a lot. And now it's a chance to kind of chit chat and spend more time and learn who they are really. Yeah.
Did you try and pursue anything for coaching after it ended in Montreal?
Well, I still had 2.5 years left in my contract, so obviously I was not allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah,
which kind of screwed a lot of things. Going back, you always think that eventually you're going to go back.
Yeah,
it was just a bad experience getting fired. It was my first time, so I was hoping once the 2.5 years were gone that I was going to get a phone call from somebody, and then I started work on television, and then I really enjoyed that. And things change all the time. Like I still think that it's a business where knowing somebody is important. We look at teams and coaches and GMs. Most of the time, it's somebody that they know that they feel comfortable with. So, I was not willing at the time to go back, maybe coaching junior or coaching in the American League to keep the wheel rolling. But I'm still working on television, and I haven't been fired since.
I thought maybe, Michel Therrien, like some of these guys getting a second shot. Why not give you a second shot? I thought you did a great job. I enjoyed with you being a bench boss in Montreal. I thought that team right then at that time, 06, 07, 08 or whatever, it was a good club.
Yeah, I mean, we did some really good things. I really enjoyed, getting up in the morning and trying to figure out, a way to win games. Obviously, it's a demanding job. You got to deal with 23 athletes and, an organization and all that stuff, especially now, I think, the new generation of players make a lot of money, which is perfect, which just makes sense. I mean, the owners make money, so the players make money, but they're demanding. They want answers, and sometimes you just don't have it. It's just the nature of the game. But I enjoyed that part. I enjoyed working with Kurt Muller and Doug Jarvis and Rolly Melanson, and even when I went back a little bit to Dallas working and coming back to Montreal as a coach. It took me a little bit to kind of adjust it. Obviously, even if I did well, I was still learning. I think, you look at coach that been behind the bench for 20 years. I think they're still learning.
Sure.
I was a lot better coach when I got fired than I was at the beginning. And, I wish now that, I would have tried to pursue it maybe earlier, but I feel fortunate enough to I'm healthy. I can enjoy my grandkids and do stuff that I wouldn't probably be able to do if I was at the bench. Yes.
Life is good. Yeah. Listen, we only have it for a few minutes more. Let's do some rapid fire stuff. The Marty McSorley illegal stick.
Yep.
Who actually noticed it first? Was it you?
It was me, but at the in those years, the curve was 1/4 inch.
Right.
So if you had
anything,
everybody can. And it is well known by everybody that I would say half of the NHL was playing with illegal stick.
Yeah.
But there was rules.
Yeah.
That everybody that, we were no different. I mean, we had guys that were playing with illegal stick, but they had one legal stick and they knew the rules. Like in the end, at the third period, if we're ahead, you have to change. And the trainer would do it. And there was, the opposition was no different. So it's a playoffs and you're in the finals, so every little details count. I'm pretty visual, so I mean, it was no different when we played the series before or the one before that, or the years before that.
Right.
Every time I'm on the ice, you look at sticks.
Yeah.
And you keep a look on it, and you kind of figure out who's illegal, and everybody else in LA that was on the ice at that time changed their sticks except one. So, and we had that discussion with Marty. I mean, it's just the timing was sucked for him, but for us, it changed the whole series.
Well, and it still didn't mean you were going to score.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. No.
You didn't know Eric Desjardins was going to.
Yeah, and I didn't know that after calling the penalty that Jacques was going to pull the goalie up.
Yeah,
right away,
exactly.
So,
your power play hadn't really been clicking, right,
exactly.
to say the least. So, but my God, what a moment in hockey history. Well, your 2 cups in Montreal, 86 and 93. Like, if you could just speak to, we rode back together from the school today, and you mentioned guys like Rocket Richard and Jean Beliveau being around the rink. And this show is called the Montreal Forum, for God's sake. You played all your games there, so many of them. Can you speak to the Rocket and Beliveau, what it was like them being around the arena?
Well, I always said that I was kind of blessed, as a young kid growing up, hockey was important to me, and and everybody, every kid around was playing, and you see everything in the streets or in the winter on the ice. People. The only game that we had was on Saturday night, and it was the Montreal Canadiens against whoever. So, we grew up, idolizing the Montreal Canadiens, and even if I didn't have a chance to see the Rocket, it's short in my memory, and Jean Beliveau and those guys. So you grew up wanted to be them. Had jerseys with number 4 or number 9, or at the end when I got to 10, 12, 13, 14, it was Guy Lafleur.
Yeah.
And having the chance at 19 to get drafted by the Canadiens, and being at the my first training camp, it was surreal because I never had the chance to be in the Forum before.
You're kidding?
Day. No. So I never had the chance. So my first day in the Forum was my first day in training camp, my first year with Montreal Canadiens. And,
wow.
You got Guy Lafleur on the side, and then Bob Gainey and Steve Schott and Larry Robinson. And, when you had the chance to play there, Maurice and Jean Beliveau and Henri Richard and Yvan Cournoyer, they were at pretty much every game. So
wow.
We had the chance to talk. First couple times you kind of a little shy, but there's one reason why this team was so successful. They were great people, great person, great players, but great leaders, and they were not shy to share what they knew. So you kind of trying to take advantage of it.
You had to have learned from that.
Yeah,
you
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's people think or say that playing in Montreal or Toronto or in Canada, it's more pressure. It is a little bit because people are passionate. It's our game, and we want to do well. But if you're going to play this game and not wanting the pressure, so I mean, learning how they dealt with it, how they go about it, you're a lot better prepared to face whatever happens.
Listen, I can only ask you one more. I know we've got to go meet the gang for dinner, but we rode back with Chris Nyland, who's also on this tour. He's such an integral part because he's beloved everywhere. Everybody loves the guy. He coaches. You're going to play. He's going to be behind the bench. He's crazy in the dressing room still. But you assisted his first goal, like you and Bob. Like, you guys were on his line. He says that all the time. He always says that. I was with Carbo and Gainey, 2 Hall of Famers. But can you say something about Chris, what it was like playing with Chris Nyland?
Well, I mean, they were doing, and he was doing a job that there's not a chance I was going to be. I would never do that. Like, I was not born to do that. I don't think he was born to do that, but he needed to do something to help the team win.
Yeah.
He's never shy about it, and he did it to the best of his ability. But he wanted to play hockey, and I think when I got there, and I had the chance to play with Bob a little bit, and him. He wanted to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And we did really well. I mean, the years that we played together,
he scored 21 goals.
Exactly. Not only was able to fight, but he was able to play hockey. And I think he's grateful for that, and that's fun. But I thanked him many times for protecting my ass a little bit.
Well, we sure enjoyed watching him, and I know we're tight to the clock, but maybe another time, Guy, if we can, we'll send you a link and bring you on the show if that's okay down the road as it suits your schedule. But Grant, I know you're on the other side of this, and Guy, thanks so much, man, for coming in for a few minutes, buddy. It's always a pleasure. Guy Carbonneau, former captain of the Montreal Canadiens, 3-time Stanley Cup winner, Hockey Hall of Famer, Frank Selke Trophy, Chicoutimi. He played in the home of George Vezina, for God's sake. All right, Guy, thank you, buddy. I'm right behind you. Grant, come on in, pal. Little bonus anyway.
Wow. That was pretty cool.
So you heard him say, Steve, well, I know why, because he's just swamped. Like, there's 9 million things to do, and he just obviously didn't text Guy. So Guy's looking for me, and here I am in my room. So, yeah. Hey, everybody. Well, you saw a bit of a disjointed HabsCast there with Grant and I, with a special guest just popping in. Hey, listen, he's just wandering around the hotel here, signing a million autographs. There's so many guys out there, but anyone who's been to Prince Edward Island knows how amazing a province it is and how incredibly friendly the people are. So I have to go enjoy some of that hospitality myself right now, as our pregame meal is scheduled for right now, and then the boys are on the ice later, and I'll be doing all the microphone work. So Grant, thanks. We carved out one as best we could, and appreciate your videos and everything. And on behalf of Grant McCagg, I'm Liam Maguire, and that will do it for this edition of another HabsCast. And we'll be coming at you again real soon. Let's hope for a Montreal win and a rebound against those dreaded Leafs tomorrow night.
Are you behind the bench with Knuckles there tonight?
No, I'm in the penalty box on the microphone.
Oh, really?
So I do sort of live commentary during the game. When the alumni guys touch the puck, I give background information on them, like their stats, historical facts, data, anecdotes, history, trivia, and I do that all game. And then post game, there's a reception, and then I'll do maybe a hot stove with a couple of them, and then I do a great big hockey trivia session. People come and try and take me on, and that's just a ton of fun.
Right on, Liam. Thanks. That was great seeing Carbo pop in like that. I wasn't expecting it, so little bonus for our those watching.
Absolutely, pal.
Okay, have fun, Liam.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye now.